Chapter 8. I can't move. I can't think. I just stare at the little black hole in the barrel of the pistol, and it stares back. Then, instinct takes over. Pete, run! I dart toward the side of the road and dive into the woods just as the gun goes off, a deafening crack resounding in the area. As soon as I whip past the first line of pine trees, the ground slopes super steeply. I lose balance and scream as I tumble to the ground and start rolling. I keep rolling, maybe 3 or 4 times, pain stabbing me in random places. Finally, I come to a stop at the base of a small hill. My whole body screaming now in pure pain and agony, but I wrench myself to my feet anyway just as Pete tumbles to stop beside me. More deafening cracks, from what sounds like 2 guns this time, ring out as he also yanks himself to his feet. We continue to rush through the trees and undergrowth, further into the forest. I try to ignore the intense pain pounding through me as we do. Finally, the gunshots stop. "Don't pass the park boundaries," the policeman's distant-sounding voice yells. Seems like it's still coming from the knot of police cars. Good. The cops haven't decided to come after us. Or we'll be forced to shoot you. Or they'll be forced to shoot us? Are they crazy? Clearly they don't mind shooting us when we were actually within the park boundaries either. What in the history of the whole freaking universe is going on? Then a realization hits me. The police could have easily just killed Pete and me. I mean, we were literally at point-blank range when that cop pulled his pistol on me. But clearly he didn't want to. Neither of them did, even though they'd obviously been ordered to. I mean, we're just kids, and clearly in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's okay, I say. We can stop. We both hunch over and catch our breaths, trying to settle our nerves. Then we straighten and take stock of ourselves. Thankfully, my pain has died down a ton, and it looks like I've only got a couple of bruises on one of my bare elbows and knees, and probably my shoulders and hips too, since they ache a bit. Pete looks to be in similar shape. We don't have our water bottles anymore, though. Must have lost them in the big tumble down the hill. Not that that's a huge loss at this point, but still. "Jeez," Pete says. "That was insane." We do our best to brush off some of the dirt off our wounds, which thankfully aren't bleeding. Now that we've stopped and calmed down a bit, I notice the familiar minty scent of pine trees, and random calls and sounds of woodland creatures surround us again. "Why did they shoot at us?" he asks. "Why would a couple of policemen shoot at a couple of innocent little kids?" The question of the century. Your guess is as good as mine, I say. It doesn't make any sense. I know, but something's obviously going on here, in this park. Something really big and really bad. Pete stops wiping the dirt off his glasses with his shirt and stares hard at me. His normally smooth black hair is sticking out in weird places after his tumble down the hill, making him look like he's gone partly insane. Maybe he has. You don't think it has something to do with the hidden laboratory and the fact that we just broke into it, do you? Huh? What in the flaming heck is he talking about? No way. The lab's a decent way from here, and we didn't actually do anything there anyway, remember? But even as I say it, I'm not totally sure. Maybe all this does have something to do with the creepy place. I'm not sure how exactly, though. Pete grinds his teeth a bit, then puts his glasses back on. Yeah, I guess you're right. He looks up at the sky, which is the cloudiest it's been all day. So what do we do now? The second question of the century. I'm thinking we got to get back to Mom and Dad, I say. Tell them about the fact the park's been cordoned off, if they don't already know, and how the police shot at us even though we were within the border. I mean, hopefully we can even do that. Hopefully the police haven't been ordered, or will be ordered, to actually go inside the park and kill anyone they see on sight or something totally crazy like that. I have to admit, based on what just happened, that definitely seems like a possibility. A concept that makes every part of my body quiver so much I feel like a giant sack of chili. I hope Mom and Dad are okay. Please God, tell me they're okay. Pete licks his lips, beads of sweat bubbling up along his forehead. Yeah, okay. Alright, let's go. I start heading in the direction I'm sure leads back to the cabins, Pete following close behind. But no sooner than we do so than a whirring noise fills the area. Light at first, but growing louder and louder by the second. What the heck is that, I ask. Pete points up into the gray sky. What the? An all-black helicopter's flying above us what looks to be in the middle of the park, and it's slowly coming towards us. Stick as close as you can to any trees, I say. It'll be harder for whoever's driving that thing to see us, and we don't know what it's up to exactly. Especially since it doesn't look like a police chopper. At least its exterior doesn't say police or anything like that. Not that it might necessarily matter one way or the other at this point. Still, I can't help but wonder who the chopper might belong to. Maybe the government or special forces or something? That would be pretty creepy. I don't bother mentioning that or asking Pete's opinion, though. Don't want to freak him or even myself out more than we already are. Anyway, we both do as I said as we go, sticking close to trees whenever possible. And we're in the middle of passing a small clearing as the helicopter eases fairly close, but we make sure to stay just past the clearing's threshold, hopefully out of view of the chopper. Adrenaline churns through my veins and my heart thuds hard in my chest. Please don't see us. Please don't see us. A couple deer, what look to be a mother and her fawn with white dots peppering its brown fur, are in the middle of the clearing. One's just standing there, the other munching on a patch of beautiful purple flowers. It's almost serene, really, and even helps me relax a bit despite the incredibly stressful situation. And then yet another deafening noise rips through the area and keeps going. I shove my hands to my ears as the two deer slam to the ground, a spray of blood flying up around them. The ear-splitting noise stops. The deer don't stir. Holy crud, it shot them! The helicopter! It machine-gunned the two totally innocent, extremely docile deer to death. But why? Why? I instinctually throw my arms around Pete, forcing him to stop moving. Then I jam my head in the crook of his neck and sob loudly.